Well, everybody, I'm dying. I just drank the most toxically evil
Oh,
espresso pod of all time, Nespresso pod, and I believe it's a matter of hours.
oh
And I really
no.
hope I make it to the end of this podcast.
Well, I'm glad that this is how we're spending your final
Yeah,
moments.
me too. There's nothing I'd rather be doing.
So we kind of did what we do for like when we do the book covers or the first sentences, where we go to our
Well,
version of
yeah,
Criterion
we went
Closet.
to the Criterion closet here, Emily. You haven't seen this.
Oh, you
You
prepped
didn't know that we
something.
took a picture in there.
Oh, look,
So
we showed up real nice
we
for
went to the
that.
Criterion Closet. We were invited. They were a big fan of the press. They were so happy to host us there.
Yeah.
The video should be up on YouTube soon of us in
Yeah,
the
any day
Criterion
now.
Closet, and it was a joy.
Yeah.
Everybody there was so sweet. I didn't know that it was staffed by like all of the foremost like directors and cinematographers of our time.
They were so down to earth.
Yeah, they were so down to earth.
Yeah.
I did not know that Bugs Bunny worked the checkout counter.
Did you, and you guys had a nice like chat.
Yeah, because we see eye to eye on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
very into film preservation because of recent occurrences within the Warner Brothers and Looney
The
Tunes.
way that he kept his head up in spite of them knocking down the Looney Tunes building.
Yeah. Also, he kept his head up because I would not break eye contact.
Right.
Yeah, I really held his gaze for a long time.
It's a sign of respect.
It is, and they're completely, this doesn't strike you as much in two dimensions as it does in three, but they're vertical ovals. His eyeballs, and so I'd never seen anything quite like it, so I really
Yeah.
couldn't look away. But yeah, we got to go into the Criterion Closet, and we kind of split up. I faced one wall, Emily faced the other wall.
Yeah.
And instead of doing it traditionally, how they have other greats in there, such as Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan, and all of these other people that they get in there, Ethan Hawke. They allowed us to kind of do our thing,
Yeah.
right? And so Emily found 5 films, and I found 5 films, and I haven't seen any of the ones that Emily found, and she
Yeah.
hasn't seen any of the ones that I found. And we're gonna present them to each other, and then rank them on a list of would watch to would like to not watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So should I go right into your first movie here?
Yes, and I'll pull up the my like the pictures I have of the back.
Sounds
so-
good. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and get that pulled up on mine as well.
Okay, I'm ready.
Alrighty.
My first pick, John Travolta in Speed,
Speed
Kills.
Kills.
Have you ever heard of this movie?
I actually have not heard of this movie. Do you know what year it's from by chance? I guess we can check I can jump ahead and check the back here.
If I look on the back, does it say?
2018. So no.
This
I-
is from 2018?
Yes. That's what it says.
What?
I've not seen any of those latter era red box style
Yeah.
Travolta action flicks.
I totally thought this had to have been from a long time ago, but I guess he kind of, he doesn't exactly look like young him.
No, it's hard to say.
So I, in general, just like have a much smaller knowledge of movies. Like
Yeah.
I have a lot of blind spots. There's movies that like I maybe feel like I should have known, but I don't. And so some of these I'm like, I wonder if you know this. So have you heard of this movie?
I've never heard of this movie.
Okay.
I like it though because it's got one of those great red box style titles, and I feel like it would be like the 5th sequel to Speed after
Exactly.
every actor associated has left.
That's what
and-
really drew me was the title.
Yeah.
Because, in the closet, you can only see the sides. So you don't
Right.
necessarily know who's in it until you pull it out. And then I saw
You
John
get a great
Travolta.
surprise. It's
Yeah.
funny. I was just talking to a friend of mine who's a film professor now, actually,
Mm-hmm.
about John Travolta yesterday, and he has his ebbs and flows of being really great in things and working on really great things. And we were talking about the movie Blowout, and if you
Mm-hmm.
watch that, you're like, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And then you'll watch like, I don't know, 70% of the rest of his catalog,
Yeah.
and you're like, what?
So let's find out what this is about. Would you like to go to the back?
yeah, sounds good.
John Travolta commands the screen as Ben Aronoff, a speedboat racing champion and multimillionaire living the American dream. But Ben hides a dangerous secret. His boats are being used to move cocaine through Miami. Suddenly caught in a crossfire between the DEA agents and the mob, Ben makes a desperate stand to save his family and empire in this action-filled thriller based on an incredible true story.
Wow, that line really changes your perspective on
Yeah,
the whole movie.
they save it right for the end.
It's funny because like this sounds like a fine like whatever like kind of cookie cutter action thriller, DEA's involved, mobs involved, drugs are involved. It's like whatever, I'll throw one of those on and like watch it and forget it kind of. But the last line that is based on a true story, I wish they would leave that off because then I feel like they're just lying to me for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's only an hour and 42 minutes. So yeah, this is you've got your lunch breaks at your 9 to 5 and you can watch this over the course of a week on your lunch break.
I'm really curious if that's a universal experience or if that's just like a you and your dad thing.
It could be me and my dad. I feel some people got to do it.
So I guess this is an automatic first place.
Yeah, this is an
now.
automatic first place for me because I have not seen anything else.
Speed kills.
Thank you. All right. Hit me with that next one. Okay. Yeah, nice. Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, Stone Cold Steve Austin stars in Tactical Force.
Did you think it's strange that in the Criterion Closet they have like these voodoo stickers all over their stuff?
Honestly,
and they've got like
that struck me as a little unprofessional.
I agree. And they've got like price tags that are like they're selling these movies for like $3.95.
They don't tell you this, but like you have to pay for the ones you take from the Criterion.
Yeah,
Closet.
they always act on the thing like you're
like it's a gift.
And then it's like a gift shop on the way out, like when you get off of a roller coaster and you have to like walk by Bugs Bunny and then he's just standing there, thumping his foot with his arms crossed.
Yeah, and like it was a little embarrassing because it's like, okay, I have to pay $5.
Exactly.
Really? You invited me. Anyways, so
it's got Michael Jai White in it too. He's another MMA guy.
Oh, okay.
I've seen him in a movie with Iko Uwais from The Raid, actually.
Nice. Yeah. So again, like all of these, the title drew me to pick it out of the closet, and then what really sold it for me was the subtitle. This drill just got real.
A really great subtitle.
So you can
also,
probably
Two Guns is great.
You probably already know, like, based on that subtitle, like, kind of what's happening in this movie.
Definitely.
Would you like to take a guess, actually, before we...
Tactical Force? Man,
This drill just got real.
This drill just got real. I like to imagine that it's a, like, Tropic Thunder, like, where they go to film a movie, but then it turns out to actually be, they're in the middle of sort of a local war zone. And this is a similar thing. They go to do a drill, and then it turns out that they're in a place that they shouldn't be, and they have to actually use the skills that they were going to learn during the drill.
Yeah.
And then they actually end up learning them at the end because they actually had to do them.
Yeah, it is not totally unlike that.
Okay.
So let's check out the back, which also
Sounds
is
good.
awesome. Surrounded by criminals, nowhere to go.
Bad place to be.
Yeah. During a training exercise in a remote airplane hangar, Captain Tate, Steve Austin, and his team stumble upon a covert meeting between two rival gangs hunting a rare and valuable item. Both fiendish gangs will kill anyone who gets in their way, and Tate finds his team vastly outnumbered and scrambling to survive unarmed, with no communications or backup. However, the upper hand in this deadly game soon changes with the frequency and speed of machine gun fire as they take down each criminal one by one. Michael Jai White and Keith Hardeen also star, delivering fast-paced fighting and high-octane action.
This sounds, I'm an action junk food type person, but I have at this point seen so many of this type of movie that I don't know if I've ever gotten this lowbrow for an American movie.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That makes a lot of sense. Like, if this was a Chinese movie, you'd watch it.
Yeah, if this was like one of the ones of these that like Donnie Yen does, I might throw it on and watch it. But this is just no. I'm good on this. I'll also add in that I think machine gun fire is like one of my least favorite things in action in general, just because it's so messy and it goes on for so long and nobody ever hits anybody. So
totally.
It just feels like you're just waiting for it to end. I think like certain people do it really well. I think Michael Mann does it really well. Like the Heat shootout at the bank does it really well. I'm sure there are other great examples of it, but in general, people just like standing behind concrete, like just railing off rounds. I'm not all for that shot in the Raid where they all peer over the thing, and there's like the flash behind them, or the one muzzle flash lights them, and then they unload the clips on them. Awesome. Great use of machine guns, but you got to be creative about it, and people aren't usually. So I'm going to put this at my number 2. I'd rather watch... Another thing is, John Travolta always brings something weird to the screen. So I don't feel like Steve Austin's bringing like
anything weird.
The pizzazz. Yeah. What was this movie called again?
This is called Tactical Force.
How could I forget?
Yeah. All right, you ready to move on to the third?
Let's move on.
Tortilla Heaven.
Now we're talking. Yes.
Starring George Lopez. A comedy about food, faith, and miracles.
This is really good stuff. Okay, this is the most excited I've been for a movie so far.
This is like all of them. It's so funny. Like I just pull them out and then I see it's George Lopez. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. No, that was something crazy to me. Like there are a lot of stars in a lot of these movies, and then like I would look them up and it was like, oh, this was well reviewed at the time, and it's just
this one was not.
Okay, all right, good to know. Good to know.
So.
They're charging kind of a hefty price for it, $7.98.
Yeah. So this the compliments to the chef is a blurb that they have for it. Food, faith, and a miracle.
All right, wait, I'm back in.
A tiny town in New Mexico is turned upside down when the face of Jesus Christ appears upon a tortilla. The eccentric townfolk include cash-mad citizens, a subsistence farmer, a jealous priest, an ambitious police officer, and a neurotic nudist who all create a northern exposure ambiance in a border town as they struggle to reap the rewards of their new miracle. I did not read the back of it.
All create a northern exposure ambiance.
I don't
really
know what that means.
That much about that phrasing, but I will say this sounds a lot like the burst pipe episode of Always Sunny, the Virgin Mary.
Grilled Cheesus, which was a Glee episode
where
Jesus Christ appeared on grilled cheese. This probably happened first.
No, that I was thinking that. But yeah, like all of the people, all of the different types coming into town, except in It's Always Sunny, it's like how the individual characters already in the show would act.
Yeah.
You know? So, but food, faith, and a miracle, like 3 things I've got nothing against. You know, food and a miracle, both great. Faith, my sister-in-law, is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's 3 for 3 for me. Now, I will say, I don't know. I think this is a movie that the synopsis is probably a lot more fun than watching the movie. And so I'm probably going to put this at my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll tell you some more about this movie.
Please.
It was not well received.
Okay.
It has a 25% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, which I know doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
But
it was not made for the critics.
No. Now, I don't know what the budget of this movie was, but I do know the gross profit.
Oh, hit me with it.
$100,000.
Pretty darn good. $100,000. Hey, that's good money to me.
Yeah.
that's huge.
Literally $105,401.
Think of the microphones that we could buy individually.
That's true.
With $100,000.
Now, I don't know that much, but that doesn't seem like a lot.
Do you have any idea what the budget was?
No.
On it? Can you scroll up on that Wikipedia page a little bit?
No, it didn't say the budget.
Oh, it didn't say? They hit it.
But that's the gross.
The gross is $100,000. All right. Hey, you know, for Tortilla Heaven, it's not regular heaven.
It's not regular heaven. It's just Tortilla Heaven.
Yeah.
So this next one I am excited about.
Okay. Alrighty.
A Hole in One.
All right.
Starring Michelle Williams from Venom.
Oh my goodness.
And Meatloaf
from Venom. Okay. Hell yeah. What is she doing in this movie?
I do not know why it's called A Hole in One.
Okay. So like the synopsis did not give that away to you?
No, I have one possible explanation, and it would be a crazy interpretation.
I can't wait to hear it. I will say, and this is like, we exist in the kind of artsy space, so this might be a hot take, but I'm not a big Michelle Williams head. Mm-hmm. She seems kind of like bummed out in most roles that she picks up. and so maybe that's it. Maybe those are just the roles that she plays.
I
But
think she's bummed out in this one.
okay, all
But
right.
I kind of want to watch this.
Well, we shall see.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Hit us with it.
Michelle Williams delivers a stunning performance as Anna, a young woman in the 1950s obsessed with mental health. When her brother returns home from the war changed, oh no, there's glare on my synopsis, so
That's
I can't read a
sad.
couple words. He comes home from the war changed, and her gangster boyfriend, Billy Meatloaf, kills someone in front of her. It becomes more than she can take, and she looks for a way to relieve her pain. She becomes convinced that the only way she can be happy is by having a transorbital lobotomy, the latest technique in brain surgery.
This is so crazy. Yeah, this is a good Patreon episode here.
Billy hires Tom, a sympathetic Korean war vet, to pose as a doctor and dissuade her from getting a lobotomy. An attraction between the two develop, and eventually she becomes caught between these two men who then must decide her fate.
Wow, that is quite the plot of a movie. That's so crazy. I really
Yeah.
can't believe that she did this. This must have been like a minute in her career where she was just not
This was 2005. So
wow.
this was right after Brokeback Mountain.
She was in Brokeback Mountain. I haven't seen that movie actually. I really want to. But yeah, that is you think she would have been able to leverage that into something a little bit more.
They put it on the back of the movie.
I saw some of those too. I saw some of those when we were in the Criterion closet.
Yeah.
That was or like this awful movie, and then like I saw that crazy sounding one with Hugh Jackman. It was like Hugh Jackman, the X-Men trilogy. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, really
huge
riding
thing
his
to
laurels,
cite
yeah.
for your movie. So yeah, Meatloaf looks, just by this picture of him, you can tell he nails the role as the mob boyfriend.
Totally.
Oh, he looks both intimidating and yeah,
So
so compelling.
the only thing I can come up with for why it's called a hole in one is like there's a hole in your brain.
That can't be it. There must be some sort of long shot scenario that happens
Oh,
in it, you know?
okay.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Though. Like,
Don't you kind of want to watch it?
yeah, and the title, you're right. It really does not make any sense.
And, like,
it doesn't go with it at all.
They put it in what looks like a golf ball. It's just a white circle, but like it looks like a golf ball.
Yeah, you're
I don't know
totally
why.
right.
I don't
That
know
is
why.
awesome.
So yeah.
All right. I love it. Wait, the blurb, undeniably memorable.
That's reminded me of when Stephen King had the blurb that was like the most unique detective story or whatever on the dog one.
You're right. This is gonna go number 1 for me right now, Em.
Nice.
Yeah. That sounds like something for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I would love to do a Stephen King blurb culling. Just
Yeah.
gather them all.
Nice. Okay, well, last but not least, we have Bigger, Fatter Liar.
No way.
I didn't know that there was a sequel, did you?
I had no idea. Probably because nobody from the first one's in this one.
Yeah.
Is that a girl on the left? No, that's Ricky
No.
Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny that he's white instead of blue.
Yeah,
Like-
and he looks scary to me.
Yeah, you're right. He looks like a little too Pennywise-esque or like, I don't know, vampiric.
Yeah, something about the white palms just make his fingers look really long.
It's Nosferatu.
Yeah.
They do Big Fat Liar to Nosferatu. I will steal your movie script and get away with it.
You will be dyed blue in the tub.
Wait, no, because he's getting dyed blue.
Yeah, that's true.
They're doing it to Nosferatu. The first Big Fat Liar was the first PG movie that my brother and I were ever allowed to see in theaters.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we loved that movie. We watched it like a
That movie
million
was
times.
so fun.
Dude,
Hungry Like the Wolf.
movies used to just be better. I swear to God, they used to just be better.
It was a fun one. And
That rocked.
is that the same one? Yeah, when they like Amanda Bynes is in that, right?
Yeah.
And they go and they're like in the like wardrobe department.
They're hiding out in the prop room, and they're like jumping on the Velcro
yes,
wall.
that part, I was like, I want to live there.
That movie is so sick. And I love like how they catch him at the end, and like the camera operator comes up on the crane.
I don't remember that part.
He says like something to him like "gotcha," but he says something that he's been being mocked with the entire time to him. It's so good. They jump off of the building and they land on like the big cushy thing meant to catch like the falling stunt guys. And there's another part of that movie that I really always loved, which was there's a Jaleel White cameo who played Urkel on Family Matters, and he goes, "I'm getting nothing from the chicken wolf." Because his co-star is a chicken in a movie about a cop and a buddy cop movie with a guy and a chicken.
I forgot about that.
That
my gosh.
That was fire.
Now, would it surprise you if I told you that this movie is unrated?
Wow, I can't believe it. They didn't even want to get their what is it?
It's not unrated.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes they're unrated because like they never made it to a theater, so nobody cared. Like a lot of foreign films are like that.
No, this is PG. I think it came out in like 2017, so very much after the original.
Okay.
So, oh yes, the back.
Please.
Probably don't even need this.
Oh my gosh. Wait, of course we do. Look at this.
Yeah, he looks terrifying.
He looks really free. He does not have the...
It's not silly.
No Paul Giamatti charm here to his face and his like look. Yeah.
Also, let's notice something happens between this scene on the back cover and this scene that involves his hands
the rest of him getting white.
So,
all right, yeah.
Okay, the hilarious follow-up to Big Fat Liar. Kevin Shepard has gotten away with lying his entire life, but when scheming producer Larry Wolf steals Kevin's idea for a hot new video game, the tables get turned. Kevin realizes he's met his match, a bigger, fatter liar, when Wolf refuses to admit the truth. Kevin declares game on as he and his best friend Becca stop at nothing to get Wolf to tell the truth, plotting a series of devious pranks to set the record straight. Get ready for crazy hijinks and big laughs in this hilarious comedy. Those are my picks from the Criterion
Well,
closet.
I'm going to put that one last. That one looks pretty rough to me. Okay, ready to get into mine here? First one, restart the Earth.
Wow.
I love, I said on the poetry episode, it's good to make like a command.
Yeah, true.
And I think the same can be said of your title. This is a pretty good, this is a pretty sick cover right here.
Yeah.
So we got a laser beam coming from somewhere.
The moon?
Somewhere, but it looks almost concave. So, and then hitting the bottom of the Earth, looking like it's covering it in maybe ice or electricity, and then it looks like plants coming down from the top of the Earth. So here, I'll go ahead and there's plenty of information to be had here. So, to fight the rapid depletion of plant life on Earth, scientists develop a new chemical to promote the reproduction of a plant's cells under harsh environmental conditions. But when the formula awakens the plant's intelligence, the scientists discover they are no longer in control as the vegetation begins to overpopulate and quickly engulfs the planet. As the global green tide rises, causing the disappearance of most of the world's population, a team of soldiers and scientists risk their lives, determined to stop Mother Nature's revenge before humanity becomes the latest of the Earth's inhabitants to go extinct.
Okay, because I did notice, like, the laser seems to be making the Earth look normal.
Oh, so that's the solution, you think?
Yeah, I think that's
the
laser.
Solution. That'd be crazy to put the solution on the cover.
I think that's what they're doing, though, because... Look, that looks normal, and that all looks like covered in plants.
Yeah, you might be right. Although, I mean, it is covered in some sort of light or electricity or something.
What is?
The Earth, the bottom half of the Earth where the laser is hitting.
Yeah, I think that's the water. Like the ocean.
Do you think that this ridge right here is water?
No, I think that's where the lasers got so far. It's like the Sherwin-Williams logo.
Okay, all right.
Cover the Earth.
I disagree with your interpretation of the laser and what it's doing to the Earth.
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out, which is to watch the movie. So this does have to go at number one, but I'm not very interested.
All right, I thought it sounded kind of sick, to be honest with you. What's
Restart
it called?
the
Restart
Earth.
the Earth.
Yeah. They should have tried putting it in rice.
That's what you do if the earth is waterlogged. Should have tried Roundup. Yeah.
That's the chemical.
All right. This is so this is the only Blu-ray I had, and
Okay.
to be totally honest, I was really surprised that this was on Blu-ray because it meant that somebody paid to produce a Blu-ray of it. This is called The Scribbler.
Okay.
She has, if you can't tell, the tagline is "Unzip your head,"
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't tell.
and she's standing perpendicular to the city. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the back here.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. Katie Cassidy from Arrow, the show Arrow, stars as Suki, a young woman confronting her destructive mental illness using, quote, the Siamese burn, end quote, an experimental machine designed to eliminate multiple personalities. The closer Suki comes to being, quote, cured, she's haunted by a thought. What if the last unwanted identity turns out to be her? Combining science fiction elements with ass-kicking action from the cast of stunning and talented actresses, The Scribbler captures the mind-bending, anarchistic spirit of Dan Schafer's graphic novel and brings it thrillingly to the screen. The star-studded ensemble includes Michelle Trachtenberg, rest in peace, she just died.
Oh, yeah.
Eliza Dushku, Gina Gershon, Sasha Grey, a porn star, Garrett Dillahunt, Michael Imperioli, and Billy Campbell.
Wow. Okay.
Michael Imperioli, Christopher from The Sopranos,
Yeah.
is in The Scribbler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I like her. Whatever's going on with her looks difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
This
She's
is-
wearing her Phoebe Bridgers outfit. So we know
You're
she's,
so right.
she's not well.
I didn't even think about that. I do feel like this is the most like one of the book covers we would find
Yeah.
of a
yeah.
movie that we found so
I wonder
far.
why it's called The Scribbler.
I also completely wonder why it's called The Scribbler. Yeah,
I have no idea. Maybe one of her personalities likes to scribble.
maybe.
I would give this one a chance. I would put this at number
Is that
at
one
number
over,
one. Yeah.
over
Restart the Earth.
Restart the Earth? Okay.
That I'm left with a lot of questions and intrigue.
Yeah, there's plenty. It's a rich world that what's his name? Dan Schafer has created here. I wish I would have looked up what other graphic novels he's written to see if I know any of them. But
Yeah, I was wondering.
just one of those one-off for like probably Dark Horse or Image or something like that they just churn out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who knows? Okay, ready?
Yes.
Monkey Mischief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
It says,
okay.
more fun with monkeys Dexter and Abel.
Oh, so maybe this is a franchise?
Yeah, so it's, just notice the kind of surroundings on the screen here.
This is giving Night at the Museum
Well,
in a
well,
major
well.
way.
Go bananas with Dexter and Abel from Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian. These are the monkeys.
Oh, wow.
Includes 3 featurettes. These are called the Show Me the Monkey featurettes. Monkey Business,
Okay.
Primate Prima Donnas, and The Secret Life of a Monkey Movie Star, Life Off Camera.
Wow. I'm really interested.
There are also 2 interactive games on this DVD.
Really?
Yeah. Monkey Slap. And Abel and Dexter's Flights of Fancy. So that's pretty fun.
Monkey slap?
Monkey Slap.
Oh my god.
So get ready for fur-flying entertainment when you go behind the scenes with your favorite monkey movie stars. And get in on the action with awesome interactive games. It's a barrel full of fun for everyone.
Wow. And they had this in the Criterion closet.
This was in the
That's
Criterion
amazing.
closet. Yeah.
I feel like I need to not let the interactive games impact my ranking of this movie. Or is it part of the whole picture,
I would go, let's try and remove it. It's nice that they have
Okay.
bonus features, but I think the featurettes are really the bulk of the cinema here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, removing the possibility of getting to play Monkey Slap, I think I might put this at number 2.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Okay, so this is Monkey Mischief. I know I can't remember the titles of any of them. They're like a little bit nondescript.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny that it's Night at the Museum related.
It is, yeah. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah.
Dexter and Abel. We've all missed them.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I totally remember them. Absolutely.
Yeah. Battle of the Smithsonian.
Yeah, I saw that one, I think.
All right, this next one.
Mm-hmm. Looks spooky.
It is spooky. I've gathered. Shikoku. Some things are better left dead. Oh, sorry. Let me jump down on here. Hinako returns to her childhood home on the island of Shikoku after many years. She learns that her childhood friend Sayori has passed away, and that Sayori's mother, a local priestess, has slowly gone insane with grief. When strange things begin to happen on the island, Hinako and his friend Funuya learn that Sayori's mother has spent years conducting a pilgrimage around each of the island's 88 temples in reverse order, which, according to folklore, is supposed to release the spirits of the dead and turn the island into the, quote, land of the dead.
Huh.
So, how are you feeling about this?
You know, at first I was like, I would watch this.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end I was like, would I?
Yeah, I mean... You can answer that question for yourself right now.
Can you zoom in for me? What are the little pictures? I can't tell.
Oh, yeah, on here? Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like we've got... It's hard to tell in general, honestly.
Okay.
Like, two people kind of embracing in some way. Two people standing under a yellow light, and then the rest are covered by a sticker.
Right.
And I can't tell what this is at all.
That looks like a hunched over old lady with a cane.
Something
perhaps?
like that. Yeah, maybe.
Kind of like
who knows?
Gandalf.
I think it's supposed to be a little obscure here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did this one come out? Does it say?
1999.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's only an hour and 41 minutes.
Yeah, I think I might watch this.
Shikoku.
Can we look at my list?
Yeah, definitely. Take a good gander. We got the Scribbler.
Okay, there's one more to come too.
Yeah, there's one more to come.
Like, I feel like... Here's what I feel. Going into the Scribbler, I would know, like, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Is kind of the way I feel. I feel like this one maybe was hoping to be good.
Probably. It is not... I don't think it's an American film.
Yeah.
So that's a credit to it.
I think I might put this at number 1.
Yeah, I think I presented with these options
Yeah.
probably would have put this at number 1. I've got to be honest, though. I'm surprised Restart the Earth is as far down the list as it is.
It's just like the type of movie that I like really don't want to watch.
Yeah, I don't like
honestly.
disaster movies. I think it was also just because this one, Restart the Earth, is also not American, I don't think. Mm-hmm. Although I guess I have no idea. That just doesn't seem... That seems like a translated title to me. And that's why I think that. You think it could be?
They said the Earth took a screenshot.
They said that? What are you talking about?
They said that.
What?
No, they didn't say that.
All right. Going on to my last film for you here.
I'm ready.
A Rebel Born.
Okay. Okay.
So, the true story of America's most infamous Confederate general.
Okay.
Do you have any idea who they could be talking about?
Robert Lee?
That's what you would almost hope when you learn who it's about. A Rebel Born follows the life of Nathan Bedford Forrest, founder of the KKK, who was a brilliant and very controversial Confederate general.
Whoa.
In the war between the states.
Oh, God.
Not the Civil War.
The war between the states. The war for Southern independence or whatever.
The war of Northern aggression is what this guy wanted to say. Even now, more than 150 years after the end of the war, Forrest has remained surrounded in controversy. Yeah, I'd say he's a controversial figure.
This is couching it so hard.
It is.
Like, infamous? Okay.
He is infamous for sure.
But
that's
I
like
feel
the wrong
like they
word
just
for
wanted to
him.
say famous because then they follow it up with brilliant. Like,
Yeah, definitely. So,
like, you know, his methods were questionable, but he was brilliant.
Right.
Like,
That's how they always try and do it with Lee. right? Like
Yeah.
he was a great general, and like a lot of like historians are like, yeah, he did a really good job with like whatever
Hmm.
the resources he had and blah blah blah. But you lost,
Yeah.
and if you lose, then you're the loser.
The fact that they're making a biopic of the KKK guy, but it's not about the fact that he's the KKK guy.
That is what's really crazy,
That's
and it's
what's
called A
so.
Rebel Born, which is such a heroic title. So Star Wars. But okay, here's what I. So this was released in 6 countries, all English speaking, and Estonia.
Why would they
Um,
care?
that my main thought when I saw that was like Estonia, like this speaks ill of Estonia.
Yeah.
That there was a
Yeah,
market for it here.
Totally. Like they like him over there.
Unless like somehow they got like they had enough money to pay like a good Estonian actor
Maybe.
to like be the main guy or something,
Maybe,
and then it got
'cause
released there. That was my
the
only.
director's Estonian.
The director is not Estonian. I looked at some of his stuff. He makes a lot of these style movies,
Okay.
all over like war things, and he has some Union ones too. But he has a lot of Confederate ones.
I wonder if they did that just so they could be like in multiple languages or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
And Emily, you scoffed earlier at a movie that pulled in a whopping $100,000.
Yeah.
Would you believe that this movie grossed a worldwide $6,769?
You know what?
What?
I would believe it.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that they know the exact dollar amount.
Yeah.
They're not rounding at all.
No. When did this come out?
This came out in 2019.
2019.
And he made a movie sort of like this as similar as recently as last year.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He's cranking them out. This dude's got like 50 movies. I'm not like straight up. Like he's got like 50 films. He's incredibly prolific. They all of their covers look the same.
Can we go back to the cover?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
It's very generic. They all look very generic. I think he's just like a history guy who just like makes, but this
It's
is
a
so
thin line.
crazy.
It is a thin line of being a history guy.
Yeah, I guess it's a thin line. This seems like it crossed it by a lot.
Yeah.
Though.
Sometimes that Venn diagram approaches a circle.
Yeah, the Robert E. Lee is like the one that people are like still making an argument that like it's history
Yeah.
that we like him so much.
Uh-huh.
Making a movie about Nathan Bedford Forrest that is not about the KKK.
I think I
Really
would
crazy.
I think this movie would make me absolutely pull my hair out.
Yeah. So you're gonna rank this.
I get well, part of me is like I do not want to watch this movie at all.
Right.
But part of me is like, what is wrong with you?
You know, if it helps, I watched actually a little bit of the trailer, and I was thinking of having it on here, but I didn't want to deal with the logistics of playing a video on the stream. But it looks awful. It looks like nothing.
Okay.
It looks
I'm
like bad
gonna...
footage of like a barely a Civil War reenactment.
Yeah.
You know?
It looks... I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Let's put that number 5.
Sounds good.
Wow, that's crazy. That blew my mind. That came out in 2019.
And I can't believe they had that in the Criterion closet.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
And I heard they also have it at Second and Charles, which I also thought was kind of crazy. It just means somebody bought it at some point.
Yeah.
And then like brought
got
it
rid of
back
it.
somewhere. Yeah.
I'll be honest, like maybe someone bought it and didn't know that like that was the KKK guy.
That's so
like,
true. And maybe Second and Charles did the exact same thing.
They just get movies. They just put them in.
Yeah,
know?
totally.
And then they send what they don't want to the Criterion closet.
Yeah.
And that's where we got this one.
And that's where we got this one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw, you know who was really kind of jealous when you took this out was Elmer Fudd. I saw him kind of like
yeah,
he was kind of like,
he's
oh,
like maybe a little bit more into that. Then he's problematic for sure.
Yeah.
Just like Pepe Le Pew really liked it when I was pulling out all those seedy French films. Yeah, getting a little too excited about that.
You almost took Leon the Professional, and like I saw like he was mad about that.
Exactly.
Wow.
Here, I'll scroll back up to this lovely picture of us, and it was a wonderful.
It was a great time.
Yeah, it was so nice. And we would love to, we'd love to go back. I'm sure we will be back. Honestly,
we'll be back.
We'll be back for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are our picks. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, take a look at those number ones there, because we would love to see them, and we would love to
Yeah.
see them with you.
Yeah.
So jump on over there if you're not already, and let's get to watching.
That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Alrighty. Until next Wednesday.
Yes, see you then.
See you then.